This video will cover how to edit observations that you submitted to iNaturalist. There are two ways to initially get to the edit screen. If you're logged in and are already on your dashboard, the Edit Observations tab is here in the upper center. If you also go up to your dashboard, the second link down is Edit Observations. Once you're on that screen, you can edit single observations, or you can also batch edit. Let's first do editing of a single observation. So we'll click on it to open it. At the upper right, you'll see an edit option with a drop-down menu. There are several different options here. The basic edit, duplicate, and edit the licensing associated with it. So editing the licensing, you may have a very special photo that you want to not allow Creative Commons use of, for instance. In the case of the duplicate edit, sometimes you might have a photo, for instance, of a bee on a flower, and you want to submit both the bee and the flower as separate observations at the same location. You could duplicate that one submission and then identify one as the bee and the other observation as the flower. We'll go ahead and do the basic edit. Within the basic edit screen, you can zoom in on the map, and we have to do, that's a control and clicking on the plus here. So this observation is mapped in the front parking lot here, in front of this building, and I actually saw it over here. And so I can then grab the marker and put it closer to where I observed it. I can also come up, that's how to edit the location. We can also edit the accuracy of it by coming up and clicking on edit above the image here. And that new location that I remapped it at is within 10 meters of the actual location. At this point, I could also edit this record by adding additional photo files. I could choose files here, or I could click on the sound tab and I could add sound files. I recommend clicking on the sync observations with the photo metadata if there are locational coordinates associated with your photos. You could create additional fields as well, but that's the basic observation edit, and then we'll save those edits. So now you can see on the main observation, it's mapped at the correct location where I observed it, and there's a 10-meter locational uncertainty bubble around it. Let's go back to the edit observation screen and do a batch edit. First, we would select all the observations that we are interested in editing. So these are all observations that I made on a trip to Glacier National Park. And so we'll get them all selected here. And then what we could do, one of the edit options is to add these to a project. So I could add these all to the Montana Natural Heritage Observations project all at once. And I have that as a default to do that anyway. I could also, if I had 2 or 3 observations that were at the same location, I could select the batch edit tool and select them. And again, come up, click edit selected in this case, and I could edit in the location and I could enter a common set of latitude and longitude coordinates and accuracy if I wanted to assign them all to the same location. In this case, I'm going to cancel. And with that, that is the basic way to edit observations. You could also change the identification to a different species if you wanted to. Thanks for your interest in using iNaturalist, and